I just wasn't planning on asking this, but just it was good dialogue around the American Rescue Plan, and I want to present some facts that weren't mentioned, although we mentioned it both in our opening statements. Can you state again how many new jobs have been created in the last 2 years?
I said over 12 million is 12.4.
And is there any 4-year period in American history where you saw that many new
No.
jobs created?
No.
And was that projected by any independent analytics firm or CBO just
No.
a couple of years ago? Are you aware that CBO, as well as others, have directly stated that the American Rescue Plan is part of the reason for our strong recovery?
I am.
And are you aware of any other OECD country coming out of COVID that has had as strong growth and a strong job creation as the United States of America?
I do not.
Thank you. Now, I was struck, I noticed your testimony last week over in the Senate, and I was struck by some of my Republican colleagues in that chamber have kind of foggy memories. Perhaps it goes with serving in the Senate, but be that as it may, let me help clear up the record, since some seem to be confused on that other side. Senator Romney, Senator Scott, Senator Lee, Senator Graham, Senator Thune, as well as others in this chamber, have explicitly called for benefit cuts to Social Security. And if any one of them doubt that, I'm happy to provide those quotes for the record. Let me quote one exactly, Senator Mike Lee. He has said, and I quote, "It will be my objective to phase out Social Security, to pull it up from the roots, and to get rid of it," end quote. So, on the other hand, the president's budget makes it pretty clear that there will be no cuts. But there seems to be some confusion out there as to this matter. So can you please talk about the prospect of Social Security cuts that some have clearly called for in relation to the president's budget?
Well, you've laid out some of the history there. I'll just talk about what the budget does on Social Security. The president fully funds. Budget is about values, and he strongly believes that benefits should not be cut for seniors who have paid into this program, and his budget reflects that value.
Good evening, friends. Happy Saturday to all of you. Friends, I have big news to share with you today. President Biden is finally taking the necessary steps to help the American people financially. The president and his administration have unveiled their plan and goals to help hundreds of thousands of Americans who are experiencing hardships right now. Leftover funds from the American Rescue Plan Act are being put towards new programs. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, I will be announcing the 2 winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway at the end of today's video. So please make sure that you do stay tuned. If you'd like to enter next Friday's giveaway, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. Remember, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. President Biden has set up a big goal for tackling homelessness by a quarter over the next 2 years. That's according to a recent announcement from the White House, in which the Biden administration outlined its plan to build on homelessness, reducing initiatives started during the crisis. Through the American Rescue Plan, which is one of the biggest crisis stimulus packages, the Biden administration provided tens of billions of dollars in rental assistance. The federal government wants to mobilize additional American Rescue Plan funds to create more permanent affordable housing on a state level and support local initiatives to curtail homelessness. The White House has said that the money is already on track to secure permanent housing for more than 100,000 people. Homeless advocacy groups are optimistic about the plan, praising the ambitiousness of the 25% figure, as well as the fact that the plan prioritizes funding homelessness prevention channels, such as through healthcare and foster care systems. President Biden said in a recent statement, "My plan offers a roadmap for not only getting people into housing, but also ensuring that they have access to the support, services, and income that allow them to thrive. And while evidence shows that the picture might be better overall since the start of the crisis, the number of unhoused Americans is multiplying in expensive cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. Now, one of the biggest topics discussed in Congress right now is the economy. Retail sales dropped by 1% from February to March. That is a sharper decline than economists had expected. That was the second drop in a row and the fourth decline in the last 5 months. Lower energy prices explain part of the fall off, which is good news. But every category was weak, and there was no silver lining. According to Yahoo News, consumer spending powers the U.S. economy. And when wallets grow thin, it is very worrisome. For now, there are a couple of mitigating factors. Retail sales mostly measure trade in goods sold at stores, and it's well known that consumers loaded up on goods during the crisis when they could not travel or go out as much as usual. What is happening now is a shift in spending away from goods back towards services, which in a way is a return to normal. Spending on services is holding up a bit better than spending on goods, but that's slowing down as well. As inflation weighs on finances and people spend down much of the excess savings they built up during the crisis, the interplay between spending and inflation directly affects President Biden's re-election prospects. The latest price data shows inflation dropping to 5% in March, from a peak of 9% last June. That is obviously going in the right direction. Yet there's a sharp distinction between goods and service prices. Goods inflation is now just 1.6%, but a few things such as food are still way too pricey. But other prices are dropping, especially the cost of gasoline and other forms of energy. Car prices are also finally leveling out, and tech products are gradually declining as the shortage of microchip eases. The cost of services, however, is still rising at an uncomfortable high 7.3% year over year. Rent is the biggest contributor. Travel costs are up too. Inflation will not be tamed until services inflation drops like goods inflation, bringing the overall rate of price hikes to 3% or less on an annual basis. So this might look like a soft landing scenario in which the Federal Reserve raises interest rates by enough to cool the economy without causing a recession. But shockwaves are still emanating from the failure of 2 banks in March, and the worst may be yet to come. So friends, please let me know if you think that we're headed into a recession. Well, my amazing and wonderful friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Saturday. Thank you so much for being part of this community and for being here every single day. I will be announcing several winners next Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.